Unfortunately, I think I was right about Apex Legends. About 6 months ago, I made a video detailing my opinions about Apex Legends and its current state. I largely focused on the lack of content and innovation while touching on monetization a tiny bit. Since then, Apex has not gotten much better. I might even argue that it's gotten worse. The player count on Steam has continued to decline, despite Apex being in what should be one of its best periods. They recently reintroduced the solos mode, introduced quads for the first time, reworked several legends and the entire shield system, and added more gameplay elements than ever before. These are changes that a large or very vocal portion of the community wanted for a long time. So it doesn't make sense that people were still leaving the game. It's more than just burnout. I believe there's a level of dissatisfaction rooted in the Apex community that can never be treated. And it's not the fault of the players, it's the fault of EA and Respawn. These are reasonable things that people have been asking for years, and I think that is an issue. I remember waiting for cross progression for years, and we get it, and it was super disappointing because it wasn't a merge. I ended up losing badges and progression items that I can't earn back. Apex has constantly allowed for stale and unfun metas to exist in the game for extended periods of time. Ranked was terrible from season 14 to season 19, with each iteration of Ranked somehow being worse than the last. That's 554 days where Ranked was unfun for the majority of players, or at least a very vocal minority of players. Monetization got increasingly egregious as time went on. Things like the Final Fantasy event and the Celestial Sunrise Collection event really upset players. There have also been a litany of polarizing map and character design choices to complement the poor weapon and legend balance. These issues have been constant throughout the entire time I have played Apex Legends. And each time we receive communication from the devs or a member of Respawn, it was next update or next season, the issues will be addressed. Then those next updates introduce more issues while only bandaging the previous issues. So yes, it is true that Respawn is giving players what we asked for, but it's too little too late. Respawn is prescribing Advil for a compound fracture. The straw that seems to have broken the camel's back was the planned implementation of the new Battle Pass system, and more specifically, the fact that you will not be able to buy Battle Passes with Apex coins. Because you won't be able to buy Battle Passes with Apex coins, they have completely changed the value of them. Nobody wants $18 wingman skins. To put this in perspective, imagine you bought a McDonald's gift card, and you go to a location and try to use it, and then the cashier tells you you can't buy fries or drinks with it. It kind of defeats a large portion of the gift card, doesn't it? Now, Respawn did eventually go back on this decision, but I guarantee they will announce some change in the next couple of months to get more money out of the dwindling player base. If someone threatens to punch me, but ultimately doesn't, I'm not going to give that person brownie points for not doing what they shouldn't have done in the first place. Let me tell you why I think Respawn or EA is doing this. It boils down to one thing: money. But it is a little more complicated than that. You see, Apex Legends is in a terrible spot compared to what it used to be, but a unique set of circumstances has put Apex Legends in this spot. First, I have no doubt that EA has instructed Respawn to increase profits by any means necessary. It is also no secret that Apex has largely focused on monetization instead of new content. This has caused a lot of people to step away from the game. More specifically about content, we receive new content very infrequently, and when we do receive it, it hardly gets supported. For a long time, you couldn't play mixtape mode without a couple of players in your game using AFK bots to farm XP, and even before that, arenas released and only received a few maps before it was completely removed from the game. Again, this has caused a lot of people to stop interacting with the game, to include playing it, streaming it, watching it, and spending money on it. And a lot of people have been very public about it, from content creators to pro teams to people you might know. I can't convince my friends to play Apex Legends, and if I somehow did, we would only play 3 games at most before they remember why they stopped playing Apex. So we'd usually end up playing Overwatch, Valorant, or R6. So why would I, as a consumer, spend money or time on a game that my friends won't play? Not to mention the cheater issue that is probably never going to be solved. This leads into what I think is Apex's largest problem: a lack of new players. Let's compare Apex to Dead by Daylight. DBD is a smaller game, but there are always new players players and returning old players to offset the players leaving or taking a break. Let's say you take a year break from Dead by Daylight. When you come back, there will be 4 new killers, 1 or 2 new realms. Most times these realms come with 3 to 4 maps, and at least 4 new survivors. Not to mention all 3 perks that each one of those characters comes with, and the perks that were probably changed in mid-season patches. If you were to take a 1-year break from Apex, the game would largely be the same as when you left it. There would be more skins to buy, possibly a new character, and you might catch an LTM before it goes away. Both games want you to come back and spend money, but Apex doesn't give you a reason to spend money when you come back. Your friends probably still don't play the game, and the issues that existed before probably still do now. All of that is what I believe is causing Apex to lose players. So how do you make more money while having less players? You attempt to charge the remaining players more and more frequently, because people continuously playing the game isn't enough for EA shareholders. They want exponential growth. I think that Apex will continue to bleed players, and we'll see even more monetization in the game than before. I don't think that Apex servers will go offline anytime soon. There will still be people that are going to buy the mythics and complete the collection events. It is truly a shame to see Apex in this state. This should be the best period of time in Apex history. There have been more great changes than ever before. We are finally getting modes requested after years, but again, they're prescribing Advil for compound fracture. I could be wrong though. Apex could be on the cusp of a complete revival of the game. I hope that's the case. Only time will tell, and by the looks of it, Apex doesn't have much of that left. So I don't just want to identify issues and not provide a solution. First, stop trying to nickel and dime players at every turn. If you were going to charge crazy prices, at least put the same level of detail into these skins as the competition does. Second, introduce more ways to engage with the game. For example, arenas should be reintroduced and supported. I mean new maps, dedicated patches, add modes like hardpoint and search and destroy, and rewards for playing arenas. Make it so the mid-season patch is a large arenas patch while having some battle royale changes. If you stagger the updates between battle royale and arenas, you could create constant interest in playing the game. Let's say the arenas queue times are long because of a lack of players. Offer bonus crafting materials for playing the mode. I understand that every permanent mode can't get that level of support, but Battle Royale and Arenas should be the ones to get that level of support. Some LTMs need to be permanent modes, specifically quads. The competition of Apex allows for larger groups of players to play the game. Overwatch is 5 players, Fortnite is 4 with standard Battle Royale, Warzone is up to 4, and 6 for normal Call of Duty. If there is a group of 4 people playing together, Apex isn't even in the discussion for which game they'll be playing. That's 4 potential players that aren't playing the game because Apex is limited to 3 players. The mixtape mode is on life support right now. Truthfully, I don't know what can be done to save it, but something has to be done. And finally, there has to be a complete rework of the monetization in the game. You have to be more generous. The average player isn't spending $18 on a wingman skin or $7 on a hollow spray. Reduce the prices and you will sell more skins. Think about what you can get for $30 in Fortnite compared to $30 in Apex. The price might still be the same, but I'm more willing to spend money in Fortnite than I am in Apex. Recolors are fine, but you can't charge the same price as the original skin. They aren't worth that much money. Legend tokens need to be made useful. You should be able to purchase customization options to include mythic rarity items with legend tokens. Of course, the cost would scale with rarity. A mythic's price with legend tokens could be crazy, but it should still be possible. By making most, if not all, of the customizations available for purchase with legend tokens, you are both rewarding players for playing the game even when they don't spend money and incentivizing players to play more. The more people play, the more likely they are to spend money on the game. I think implementing some of these changes would start to repair Apex Legends. These type of changes will take place over a long period of time, but Respawn and EA have stated that they believe the Apex franchise can go on for 10 or 15 years. So let's start treating it as such. Release a roadmap, update the roadmap, and talk to your community.